Welcome back, it's me Adam. Honestly guys, the market is an interesting place to be lately, especially since it's been so volatile over the last few weeks and all the news coming out of China, inflation, Facebook. It's sometimes hard to steer, where you should be going or investing or putting your money or keeping it on the sidelines. It could be tough to kind of figure out what to do or what's going on. And when I check my stocks in the morning, I have no idea what's going to be up for me, what's going to be down 5 or 10%. Today, that stock was Voyager Digital, which we're going to get to in this video, as well as taking a look at crypto, which has been booming lately, and there's a lot of positive sentiment when it comes to that, as well as the indices and if they're recovering or what's going on with that deal as well. So before we get to the rest of the video, I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Train with Charan. He just started uploading to YouTube, and he's everything from fitness, martial arts, and sharpening your mind spiritually and living an overall healthy and satisfying life. And he also has an Instagram page as well. Check him out, guys. I'm going to link him in my channel below. So show him some love and check him out. As well, if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Hit that subscribe button. Here at Unlimited Options Investing, we talk everything from stocks, crypto, options, ETFs, and we're investing for long term. As always, smash that like button and let's get started. Alright, let's first take a look at Voyager Digital, down 8.76% on the Canadian side and down 9.22% on the US side. So what caused the price to go down so much today? The dip seems to have been triggered by the company's latest financial report. The team announced preliminary revenue and user metrics for the fiscal 2022 first quarter ended September 30th, 2021. The numbers paint an interesting picture. Voyager Digital is still growing, but not at the pace it had hoped for. Total funded accounts and total verified users were up 29% and 23% respectively year over year. That pace of growth would have been impressive for most companies, but not for a tiny cryptocurrency startup. Meanwhile, revenue and net deposits actually declined this quarter. Revenue has dropped from $109 million to between $63 million and $67 million year over year. Similarly, net deposits have been slashed roughly in half from $1.6 billion to $827 million. This recent quarterly report could indicate that the sector is running out of steam. If Voyager Digital's growth is slowing down, it could mean that mainstream investors are less excited about crypto like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And as a Voyager Digital investor, with the stock going down so much over the past month, and when we take a look at, let's see, the past month over here, it's down 35%, and that's pretty significant. But trying to understand the nature of crypto and its volatility, that I ultimately don't believe that the sector is losing steam whatsoever, especially from a longer term approach. I don't believe that crypto is losing steam. In fact, probably the opposite. And when you take one quarter and compare it to its previous quarter, yeah, the numbers might not always look very nice. However, if these kind of numbers start to become a trend, then maybe my investment thesis would change on Voyager. However, I'm not near that point whatsoever right now. So taking a look at the candlestick chart on the daily, we see today that it had dropped as low as about 11.10, but the buyers stepped up to about a level and closed at about a price that we had found support over the last 5 or 6 trading sessions. And I don't get excited about this recovery until we break this massive downtrend maybe at this point over here. Which would mean over the short term, I would need to see it above, let's say, $18 again to see some kind of recovery, which we haven't seen yet. So when it comes to the stock, risk adjust appropriately to your risk levels, as in this is a high risk, high reward play, and risky in the sense that it's volatile. So in the short term, it's risky, and long term, will this startup company become something much, much bigger? Let's take a look at the overall market. How did it do today? And we see big tech has been recovering since it's been getting thrashed over the last few weeks with pretty volatile trading. Amazon up 1.27%. Facebook trading sideways with all the bad news that's been coming out and that outage from back on Monday. Google up 1.13%. Microsoft up 1.5%, back above 290. And Apple back above 140 as well, up 0.63% today. We see financials recover with Visa, MasterCard, PayPal. The banks pretty much sideways. NVDA, AMD, and the semiconductors looking more green than red. And defensive is actually doing pretty well as well, with utilities doing really well. Real estate, consumer defensive, railroads, and mRNA getting pretty hit hard today, 8.94%. And that one has been getting thrashed recently. Seeing some pretty harsh selling off over the last 5 days, down 20%, and over the last month, down 30%. Partially because of Merck's new COVID-19 pill, but also because this stock on the technicals, guys, ran up way too hard, way too fast. And probably a lot of new retail investors are left holding the bag. First, look at the FAANG index, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. And we see over here, guys, we could have been forming a base over the last few days of a potential bottom over here. And from this line that I had drawn on the RSI, and I don't remember when I had drawn this, maybe from a month or two ago, that we had actually dipped below it yesterday and the day before. So maybe this could have potentially been the bottom. Maybe we're in a bull trap right now potentially, and then we'll see continued selling off. However, technically, if we continue seeing more buying into the end of the week, especially above the moving averages, up until this level over here at, let's say, 5,400, right below the blue trend line, if we get back there, I'm not saying we're going to continue ripping up and making new all-time highs right away. We could trade sideways for a bit. But let's see if the bottom from a few days ago holds to be true moving forward. And taking a look at the NASDAQ 100, which is made up of mostly technology companies and mainly comprised of those big tech stocks, again, similar situation. We see the bottom hit this trend line. And for me, it's really cool to see how all the different technical analysis from all these different charts kind of coincide with one another. And when you see those markers coincide with one another, it just makes you that much stronger in your belief and your thesis moving forward. And the lines I've drawn here, similar to the FAANG index as well, these lines draw back all the way to last year when we hit those bottoms. So these are strong indicators. Again, nothing is for certain. We could very well break this trend line and continue making lower lows, but the levels we're at right now have to seem compelling if you're in it for the long term. As the stats don't lie, the markets usually recover after seeing corrections like this, and this is actually healthy for the market, guys, to have a little bit of a breather. As a trader, you love this volatility. You buy at the bottom of this channel, you sell when it gets to the top. And it's not always going to behave in this channel. Trends change all the time, cycles boom and bust. But you should always trade with the wind, not against it. Similar situation with the SPY, which makes me believe that we've bottomed out more in technology than we have in other sectors, but not necessarily. We could just recover from these levels over here. And looking at the Dow Jones as well, kind of in that range right now. So we're going to continue monitoring that one for the time being. Taking a look at the Russell 2000, same idea. Stuck within that range. A lot of people are really long-term bullish on this one because valuations for small caps are so much lower than they are for bigger companies right now. So the idea is that once it breaks this channel of the 232 mark, that this one could really show some explosive growth into the end of the year, into next year. So interesting. We'll keep an eye on the IWM as well. And crypto has been booming lately. And we've been following this one, guys, since last Friday, since the weekend, about when it was over here. And this one's really taking off right now. So assuming this one wants to take a little bit of a breather and it starts showing some weakness, we want to see it move back down to about, let's say, 53,000 for a good pullback. We consolidate at these levels and then continue making new all-time highs, testing the $60,000 mark, and then it would be 65,000, guys, and then all-time highs from there. So super exciting when it comes to Bitcoin, and Ethereum is not that much behind it. It's following suit, guys. We zoom into today's candle and we see a big hammer candle, guys, a lot of buying pressure pushing this up. So we're really testing this 3,600 level, guys. If we're able to break it, next stop would be 4,000, which is really exciting. Again, see that double bottom, it's a healthy run. We'll just have to see what happens, and the next stop would be the 4,300, depending on what happens between now and then. So super interesting stuff, guys. And lastly, taking a look at gold and silver, kind of again just stuck in their areas over here, guys. This could be a potential double bottom, but we don't have any confirmation. And I'm finding this one super difficult to navigate right now, guys. Just with inflation, you think that with inflation, that gold is a good hedge, but it really hasn't been over the last year. Maybe that's because of crypto, maybe not. It's just been a weird kind of situation. It's hard to find these correlations sometimes, guys. Like sometimes they're right in front of your face and sometimes they're just not. And similar with silver, guys, we were on a critical support about a week ago. Let's see if silver's able to hold up from that, guys. We'd have to break this 20 EMA that's been pushing against it for the last few months or so. And until it breaks that 50 EMA, guys, it's just super hard to trade right now. And that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on Voyager stock are. Is the market recovering? Are you buying, selling, or just holding? Let me know, guys. As well, as always, subscribe, like, and I will see you guys in the next video.